It's Jack from Alpha Charts with a stocks to watch video. Today is July 24th, 2022. Before we get started, this video is for educational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. Now, I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. Okay, a few notes before we get started here. First off, Twitter has let me or granted me access to the super follow program. So basically, for a small fee, I'm thinking, roughly $10 or so, I can add more content, more value to my Twitter feed. Some ideas I was thinking about was maybe a couple midweek videos, like a Tuesday, Thursday midweek videos, direct access and DM ability to me, as far as, for questions, ask me anything type days or times, priority, like in-depth responses to questions, also full chart annotations with maybe my top 5 setups for the week, where I would enter, where I'd put my stop loss, profit taking, and then maybe even post analysis on those trades. Those are some ideas that I've been thinking about. Again, I think the DMing and the post analysis and the trade setups, again, for a nominal fee, makes sense. But I'd love to hear from you guys on if that'd be something that you'd be interested in. Maybe something, other features that you would like. Again, I'm looking to give extreme value for a very small amount of money. Educational type. I don't even want to call it a service because it's not a service. It's just more in-depth educational product, a super follow product. So yeah. So please leave me a comment below if that's something you'd be interested in, and what you would like to see. All right, appreciate that. What else? All right, let's talk about this week with these charts. First off, humongous earnings week. As you can see, you have Google, UPS, Coke, McDonald's, Visa, Microsoft, just gigantic names. You have Facebook here on Wednesday. You have Apple and Amazon and Intel. I mean, just gigantic names every single day of the week. So be very careful next week. All right. Second reason to be careful next week. We have GDP release, right? GDP release, July 28th, 8:30 a.m., right? It may tell us whether we're in a recession or not, right? If it's a negative number, then the recession will be officially be called. So we have a GDP number this week. Okay. Third reason to be very cautious this week. So we have a Fed meeting this week, right? FOMC meeting, and they're going to announce probably another rate hike. Will be 0.75, 1%. We'll see. We don't know. So you have earnings all week, giant catalysts. Then you have the GDP number, giant catalyst. Then you have the Fed meeting, giant catalyst. So all that makes a very hard week. If you watch my state of the market, I'm under the yellow signal, which means that if you're going to get involved, smaller positions, keeping stops close, max 50% invested. If things start to stop out, stay in cash. Right now, this happened to me on Friday. A lot stopped out. And so now I'm 100% in cash. And this week, I'm probably not going to buy anything just because of all the catalysts that are going on. If anything, maybe end of the week, but definitely not in the beginning of the week. Too much going on there. But there are names setting up. So this is my watch list, right? This is what I'm looking at. So let's go ahead and see what we're looking. Again, we have the downtrend. Just go over to Qs real fast. And then we have this beautiful higher highs and higher lows, right? So far we were getting that. Now we have not made a higher high versus this area yet. So that's a major area right here. Maybe we run up early in the week, Monday or Tuesday, and then potentially roll over, potentially keep going. Who knows? But I love how the short and intermediate term moving averages are starting to align bullishly. That's a positive. As long as price is above this, I think there's a bullish case to be made. Declining 200-day, longer term, we're still in downtrend. So most likely this is a bear market rally counter trend rally into a moving average. I would not be shocked if we see another leg down to here. That wouldn't shock me at all, right? Not saying it's going to happen, and maybe this is the bottom that's being formed right now. We don't know. We won't know until after the fact. Just be aware that right now this is suspect to a counter trend rally. All right, let's get going with this video. You want names? Let's give you names. CrowdStrike. Again, it's below 200 days, right above, but I like how the 50 days starting to hook back up, moving higher. Looks really good. Again, just know that it's in a longer term downtrend. Here's Sentinel-1. This one I tried earlier, I think last week, but the 50 days starting to move up. I like that you have this, potential launching pad right here. And a lot of these, the nice thing is you'll know when you're wrong and it'll be pretty quick, right? What is that? Let's see, you're only about 5% or so away from that 50-day. So even if you use the 50-day as your stop, you still have 5% loss. And that's not terrible. That's within my scope of practice. I like to keep to 3, but I'm willing to go up to 5-ish or so if it's the right situation. IOT, this one stopped me out. So again, it's kind of suspect, but it's right there on this moving average. Maybe it needs to consolidate or even pull back a little bit more, let the 50-day kind of catch up, and maybe it makes a launching pad similar to this, right? And you got a little nice move right there. AVLR. Again, I like how it's kind of a double bottom look. Again, it may need to pull back a little bit and then maybe makes a launching pad and then goes higher. Okay, when I say launching pad, by the way, just means that these 3 moving averages are going to be really tight, usually within 3% of each other. Okay, so price comes down, maybe chops around just a little bit, and then starts to move back higher again. Maybe makes a higher high, and then you had, higher low, and you higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high, and then that would be a potential breakout VCP type of action. ZS. Same thing. I like how the 50 days starting to turn. Again, may need to chop around. If we get moving up together, that would be positive. UPWK, Upwork. Same thing. 50-day is flat to rising. Again, may need a little bit more time, but that's one to keep an eye on. Very defined level. Next up is PRVA. We were talking about PRVA back here. It's moved much higher. Still like this way it's accumulating. Every pullback into the green line, which is my 9-day EMA, has been bought. So you could potentially play it versus the 9-day and let it just kind of travel up. Why not? I would buy as close to that 9-day as possible, and it close below it, I'd be out. SWAV, Shockwave, volatile sucker, kind of higher volume on Friday. So maybe it needs to chop around here, maybe make another higher low, let the 50-day catch up. I like how the 50 days crossing the 200, right? That's definitely a positive. And again, maybe it needs one more pullback. Again, create that launching pad, let this 50-day catch up a little bit. It could take a week, could take 2 weeks, who knows? FLYW, Flywire. Again, look how the 50-day is flattening to starting to curl up. I would love to see this, again, a pullback into there. By the way, know your earnings dates for these names, right? Because this may not even be actionable if it doesn't come back in enough time. This turns up. Maybe the earnings is a catalyst for things to really move higher. I don't know. We'll see. But this one looks pretty good. EVH. EVH, lots of accumulation on this chart. Again, this $30 is where this 50-day is. It's at 33, so roughly 10% above it. And so again, a pullback. Again, what I don't like that this made a lower high here, right? Don't love that. But again, a pullback, maybe to the 50-day, would make a higher low, and then the launch pad could be set. EVH, that's MCK is next. This is, right now, looking pretty good. It's within the launch pad the launchpad criteria for me. So again, the breakout could be bought, I think. Technically, this could be bought here with the stop at the 50-day. That would be fine. You see, it does violate it sometimes, so just be careful. But yeah, if you bought at 330, stop at 322, right? That's not bad, right? If it breaks out, great. Or you can play the breakout by itself at 335. That's easy. Will this be the fastest mover? Probably not, but it's exhibiting probably some of the nicest price action I've seen so far. GTLB. Here you go. Needs probably the 50-day to catch up. This one, here's your VWAP from the IPO right overhead, and it's resistance, resistance, resistance. That's an important level right now, 653, right? I'm sorry, 6053. Very important level. And it looks like that's where the 200-day is also, because I see this right here. It's hidden. It's probably just coming on the map right now. But that's an important spot within 6053. And you see it's had a hard time getting above it. That's GitLab. CELH, Celsius, really strong name. I think it just got a little bit extended, big pullback. Maybe it's got to pull back a little bit more, let this 50-day catch up a little bit, maybe around $74, $75, somewhere around there. That may be an area to potentially take a look at it. We'll see, let the price action kind of guide you. You see it was down for the day and also down on the week. Watch for that false breakout, right? It could roll over. This one could roll over fast too, right? We've seen it roll over fast in the past. So just be real careful with this stock. It's not a slam dunk. CELH, Olli, OLLI. Nice big run up. We talked about it, on the breakout, we talked about on the pullback, and now it's pulling back again. So right now the 23 days holding, and that's probably where I'd kind of play it against if I was going to play this name, right? Nice tight stop, 23-day hold, great. If it rolls over, you're out. Again, I'm not looking to get involved in any names this week, especially not in the beginning of the week, maybe towards the end, depending on price action, which is why midweek videos kind of make sense. But yeah, but Olli looks pretty good right now. It's just flagging out, not doing anything wrong. OLPX, beautiful breakout from this inverse head and shoulders, came back to retest. I like how the moving averages are kind of fanning out. We'll see what happens when it does retest, right? Right now, 1660-ish, right? 1675, somewhere around there. That's the area I would look at if you wanted to get involved. That would give you a good reward to risk area, right? Playing just this breakout area, then maybe versus a moving average or something of that nature, right? Nice tight stop. And as you can see, there was a lot of accumulation happening in this name. On this big move down on Friday, you had lower volume. That's really nice to see. So again, watch this 16, we'll call it 1675-ish area. That's a potential area of support. Next up is IRTC. So it broke out of this downtrend line, but now this is kind of I'm going to take out this downtrend line, to be honest. And this seems to be the area to watch right here. So does it come back and make a higher low and let all the moving averages catch up? That's what I would look for. Again, not viable here. Wait for the pullback, right? Pull back into the moving averages. And then maybe it goes. That's what you want. And then maybe you could buy there, right? Buy the breakout, buy the pullback, whatever you want. But it looks really good. IRTC, Halo, HALO. A lot of people have been talking about Halo. It's been a great mover, but it's at that area, right? Where it needs to now let these moving averages come back in, maybe tighten up like here. Again, maybe it needs to come back, maybe to there, make a higher low, and then take off, right? That would be the bullish case for that. Again, versus this $48 level, that makes sense. Let it come back into 48, right? Then you play it against the 23-day. You could play it against the 50-day if you wanted to. It'd be close enough in my book. That'd probably be close to $46. So you're talking about, 4 or 5% stop. That's not bad in this market, especially with the volatility this week. So maybe later in the week, Halozyme could be a name, maybe after the fireworks go off. IRTC, I already did. AMT. There's AMT. So this is a REIT, right? American Tower. They're doing cell phone towers, I believe. But REITs have been starting to work. It's got earnings coming up real soon. And again, it's going to be the fastest mover. Well, it does okay at certain times. Cuts both ways. But it's above the 200-day. It's got the 50-day kind of coming up here, right? If you could see price, I could see price coming back, chopping around early this week, and then the 50 days catching up. Then you have back above the 200-day, right? 256, we'll call it, right? If the 50-day could catch up, these kind of flatten out, you would have 4 major moving averages all within a very close proximity. It's currently 50 days, only 2% lower, right, to begin with, right? That would be a beautiful place for a potential stop, all these moving averages, especially this 200-day starts to flatten out, which it probably would. Just going back, you got to go back pretty far for the 200-day, right? Right, as all this stuff starts to come off, the 200-day will start to flatten out. Anyway, point being is that this one, again, it's going to be a slow mover. It's got earnings coming up, pays a dividend if you're going to be in it long enough, but looks okay. That is AMT. And last one, LDOS. LDOS, again, there's your 50-day, there's your shorter term moving averages, there's your 200-day. Needs more work, has earnings coming up. Again, earnings may be the catalyst. We'd love to see it maybe pull back slightly, make a higher low, and then start to break out, and then let all these moving averages kind of create that launching pad for you. Okay, so there you go. There was 19 names that I just gave you. Be careful this week. Again, earnings is crazy. We have GDP and we have a Fed meeting, right? Yellow light territory. Be very, very cautious this week. Mixed signals, really, with short term, intermediate term starting to turn up on the indexes, while you have the longer term still down. That's why we're in yellow light territory. Also, there's been the VIX has been coming in, which is nice. Bond yields have not been spiking, which is nice. Breadth is improving, which has been nice. But this week could change all that. So that's why I'm still cautious. Now, if it doesn't, I'm gonna get really bullish. And if it does, I'm gonna get very bearish. Again, so this week, chances are next week will either be green light or red light. We'll find out. Super follow if you're interested in that, or even just let me know what you would like to see. I would love to hear your thoughts on that and make that happen. Tell me if there's any part that I mentioned already that that would excite you and get you to do it. Again, I'm just kind of just researching if it's something I want to do. Okay. Appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't. And I hope you guys have a great day. Good luck this week with all the volatility.